How is everybody doing today? My name is Master Zero, and welcome back to another reaction video. This time we're reacting to There Is Something Hiding Inside Earth by In a Nutshell. Alright, so to keep Science Month going, and going back to In a Nutshell, which obviously I said I was going to do, like, all their videos in a row, but, like, it's just really cool having, like, different topics, and, like, I know that's not really new for kurzgesagt to do, but I've been reacting to, like, bombs, freaking, like, the history of the world, like, the Library of Babel, or the Canvas of Babel, rather, so it's really cool to have, like, going back to Earth, you know, and not just Earth, but apparently inside Earth, and I'm not sure what this topic has to do. Like, my brain is kind of telling me that it has to do with like the hollow Earth theory, or I think it's a theory. It's kind of closer to like the supernatural thing or whatever, people's spectics and stuff like that. But like, it should be really regardless, really fun regardless. I'm stumbling on my words this time. I don't know why, but I'm just really excited to get this going, man, because like the topic of science can literally be anything, and for it to like, okay, well, we don't know what's out in space, we don't know what's in our ocean, and now apparently we don't know what's inside our own Earth. So I'm really excited to get this going. So without any further ado, There Is Something Hiding Inside Earth.
We've found a new planet.
I'm sorry? Is it talking about the hollow Earth?
Beings living in the most absurd and
okay.
deadly hellscape.
Audio got cranked up, man. I love that.
Crushed by the weight of mountains, starved of oxygen,
oh my god,
alive, bathed in acid, salt,
okay.
or radiation. And yet,
is it just the nether? Is that Cthulhu?
Perhaps millions of years.
I was gonna make a Minecraft joke.
This planet is not in space. It's inside the crust of Earth.
Oh, fun!
This is the deep biosphere, and we basically learned that it exists.
I don't think I've ever heard of that. Okay,
its
that's probably why.
Is at least twice as large as all the Earth's oceans, home to more microbes than the rest of the entire planet.
Okay.
Their total biomass
hopefully it's
is
not
more
like
than 20
humanoid
times
creatures
greater
in
than
there.
all humans, livestock, and animal wildlife.
Okay, nice to know
Let's
we're all
descend
summed up into a
this
piggy.
Mad, deadly world where none of the rules we thought
oh,
are mandatory
man.
for life apply.
I'm feeling the visuals are going to be like spot
Going
on in
deeper
this.
and deeper.
Oh, let's go.
Deep life seems to be everywhere we look.
It'd be
Below
a whale.
Oceans, near volcanoes,
that's very
beneath
true.
The glaciers of Antarctica,
especially glaciers, man. They could be itty bitty, but then on the bottom it's huge.
We live.
Is that a?
We'll use a special duck science drill and start our journey into
let's
familiar
go.
territory. On land, in the soil, where plants grow and animals roam.
I love this.
If Earth were an onion,
borderline
this
supernatural.
is the very top of the very top layer.
Let's go.
Soil is a lavish
we're on the journey with them. Let's
air,
go.
Water, minerals, and organic matter bathed in endless energy. Life lives.
We should
in
know this from elementary.
Here. Plants exploit this paradise and produce more than 30 times the biomass of all of Earth's animals each year in a constant cycle of growth and decay. Only a tiny fraction of the biomass is buried deeper in the ground, supplying juicy resources for almost 500 million years.
Oh, yes, please.
As we dig deeper, most of the air has been squeezed out, and we cross the water table into a zone saturated with groundwater, rich in minerals, and some organic matter. Roots from the most ambitious plants reach down here.
Is that
and the most common inhabitants are scavengers living
Norse
off
mythology
decay. This layer can be pretty cold because it's still slowly warming up from the most recent ice age. We reach bedrock, a foundation of solid rock for all the
this is as far as Minecraft goes.
Home to fractures filled with water. It can be exposed to the surface
or
buried hundreds of meters below.
Put in a perspective
stuff.
like that?
Here in the
didn't even touch
bedrock,
anything.
We're in a weird planet inside the planet, the most thrilling zone of the deep biosphere.
Oh my god.
As we drill further down,
I know that's for like
temperatures
visual sake,
begin
but
to rise, and soon it gets really hot, and the pressure rises.
Power Rangers.
Underneath 400 meters of rock, the pressure is similar to the surface of Venus. We drill faster now, down to 1,000 meters.
So the Empire State Building.
Burj Khalifa is tall.
Never mind, bigger.
It's about 30 degrees Celsius, and there's almost no free oxygen left. We continue and finally stop almost 4 kilometers down. Above us, pressing solid rock weighing tens of thousands of tons, with pressures as intense as at the bottom of the Mariana Trench. Down here, it's on average 120 degrees Celsius, even hotter.
Oh, that's Celsius? Oh my god, I thought he was going to say Fahrenheit. That's way worse.
Formation and from the decay of radioactive elements like thorium and uranium that shower the crust
is that
with
a
constant wave of radioactivity. To make things worse, some rocks are mixed with extreme amounts of salt.
SpongeBob!
Hell. And yet, life is thriving inside rock. If we zoom in, we see that solid rock is not actually solid. It's traversed by cracks, voids, and tiny pores.
How are they surviving?
Sandstone,
must be
limestone,
some
or
one-tough
basalt are
cookies.
so porous that up to 40% of their volume is actually empty space.
Huh.
But even much denser rocks like granite can be split open by cracks and fractures.
Oh,
We've found a
gigantic
gigantic planet-spanning system of microcaves, free real estate filled with water and hardcore microbes.
Okay.
And these caves are moving. Just like the atmosphere is constantly mixing air to
tectonic
create
shifts and
weather,
everything.
down
Plates,
here
sorry.
rocks are mixing
Plates
to
be
create
shifting.
rock weather. Submerged mountain ranges are shifting and ripping, crashing and merging.
Yes, they
Continents smash into each other with the energy of millions of nuclear weapons, but as slow
I love it when
as
they
your
put it into
fingernails
perspective,
grow.
man. I
Countless
hate
tiny
that.
and not so tiny earthquakes rip open tiny new fissures and passageways, creating new spaces for life and closing others off forever.
Ooh.
In this hot, moving pressure
duck's
cooker,
okay.
minerals are forged and baked, and organic molecules are created and destroyed.
Oh,
An
okay.
insane menu for anyone brave enough to try
Straight
to
up like
survive
another
down here.
universe down there.
Let's venture into the system of tiny caves and meet
Cthulhu
some of
again?
them. The most extreme living things.
Hey!
We
Extreme's
think
an
that
understatement,
octillions of
man.
Microbes live
If they
down
could
here,
survive down
and
there.
naturally they are pretty hardcore. The
Yeah.
doomsday preppers of the underworld. Some have big, bulky
I love that you keep
genomes
saying
living
underworld and hell
entirely
and
on their
stuff.
own, basically forming their own ecosystem. Like the bacterium Desulforidus aurex viata.
I'm not even
It
gonna try to pronounce that.
synthesizes its own food by nibbling carbon or sulfur from the rock and
Oh.
turning it into organic substances.
Let's
If
go.
the conditions get too extreme,
Making
or if
hamburgers
there's no
inside
food
you.
around, it kills itself to survive by forming an endospore.
Oh!
It divides into a big and a small part and swallows the small part again, forming a cell within a cell. The
Okay.
outer cell then sheds its water and
I
kills
mean,
itself, leaving the spore
in
to
order to
float
survive,
around,
right?
maybe for thousands of years, until it finds a good place to spring to life again.
Oh, that is
Others
bizarre.
like some company, like the archaea, with the clunky name Altiarchium hemiconnexum, that have a
Yeah,
rare
again,
double membrane covered in weird
not gonna
materials
try.
that protect them against the extremes. They shoot out nano-sized
Man, they
grappling
have to
hooks
have
tether
some sort of
themselves
protection.
and seem to live in cracks
I
and
cannot
fissures filled
fathom
with water
living in
completely
this.
devoid of oxygen, harvest carbon dioxide to create biomass, and may sort of
soaking
eat
it all up?
hydrogen. The conditions
Oh.
in the deep biosphere are so harsh that other microbes share the hard work by forming consortia.
That's pretty
They
cool.
knit
It
themselves
reminds me of
together in a
ants, man.
biofilm,
Like the
a very
entirety of
thin,
it.
sticky net that shields them
It's like
against the
underground little
extremes.
secret
They are
passageways and
miniature
stuff.
cells, often with a small genome, but each good at one thing.
Meat?
One type of microbe eats methane and excretes its electrons.
Okay.
A second type eats these electrons.
This also
and
reminds me of
converts
oxygen not
sulfate
included.
into
It's
sulfite
like you
that's
have to
then
have
eaten
one
by
thing
a
to help
third
the other
microbe,
thing.
and so on.
Oh.
Some eat iron, others use electrons to turn nitrogen or carbon dioxide into
Oh, again, I know I
biomass.
stated it before, but I
Life down
love
here
the visuals
found
in
ways
this
to
one.
use stuff that's poisonous
way
to
more
most
wacky.
animals to make food and energy.
Hulk burger.
But still, life is incredibly hard, and resources and energy are super hard to come by.
Freaking understatement
So
of
the
the
most
year.
intense strategy for survival down here is to live forever. Like monks who've taken a vow of poverty, deep microbes consume very little and conserve their energy. Their
Okay.
metabolism is up
Again,
to
the
a million
perspective,
times
I love
slower
it,
than
man.
microbes at the surface.
Puts it into things
They
I
had a meal
understand.
when you were born and are still digesting it. For most of their life, they exist in a slow limbo. Some even slowly cannibalize themselves.
Oh,
Until a
okay.
sudden influx of resources arrives by pure chance, and then they spring
I'm
into
alive,
action
stop
and
eating me.
reproduce.
Myself.
With this lifestyle, it seems that extreme microbes can live for centuries, maybe even for millions of years. If they're not hunted to death, of course. Because
what's
kilometers
killing
deep
them?
in limestone habitats, there seem to be spaces big enough for multicellular predators.
Okie
We've
dokie.
found asexual worms,
Is that just
100
tremors?
times longer than microbes,
Or dune, I
hunting
guess.
and devouring bacteria. It's not clear if they originated down here, or if mini earthquakes opened up fractures for water to carry them into the deep. But there are other fierce predators
I
like
mean, both make
rotifers or
sense.
arthropods in the depths, hunting immortal microbes. We wish we could tell you more insane things about life in the deep biosphere, but there's a problem. We
What?
don't know that much yet.
Oh,
For
no.
one, we can't really get a good look under kilometers of rock. Drilling down could contaminate the samples with microbes
That's
from
true.
the surface. We've found living ones in
like,
deep
just trust
mines
us.
and brought them into the lab. But it's pretty hard to simulate the conditions they
Oh,
feel
no.
comfy in boiling hot water, squeezed under mountains, submerged in deadly chemicals,
Yeah, how do
and
you
still see
artificially
them through a
make that?
microscope. And the microbes
the
live
harshest
so
of
slowly
harshest.
for so long that
Whoop.
nothing might happen. A lot of what we know about them we got from turning them into a slurry and looking at what their genes could do,
Oh.
like breathing nitrogen or eating methane. We know that the diversity
Well, that answered my
of
question
life
of
in
how
the
you
deep
know this
biosphere
stuff.
must be staggering, and that some of the most hardcore and extreme beings live down there. This is
Again,
a proper
understatement of the
science,
year, man.
super hard to study, and most of what we know we've learned in just the last 20 years. There is so much more undiscovered mystery for us that could bring us progress in medicine, energy, the climate, and more. Let's end by moving our
crazy,
gaze
man.
from the inside to the outside again. Since we now know how extremely large the deep biosphere is and how life down there survives without light, oxygen, sane temperatures,
metaphor of the
or not
onion,
being
man, that was
covered in poison,
perfect.
could there be deep biospheres all over the universe? Maybe all you need is a planet or moon with internal heat or radiation, and a
That's
chemical
fair,
composition
man.
that allows
Really gets your
microbes to
brain
build the
boggling.
parts they need. Some scientists suggest there could be 10 of them in the solar system, hiding beneath a seemingly dead and frozen surface. So as we learn more and more about the
Just
life
the
below our feet,
unknowingness
we
should
may
keep us
accidentally
thriving, you
learn
know?
about life in the universe.
It's in our
You're
backyard.
lucky.
Hey.
You don't need to drill dozens of kilometers
Speaking of
through
backyard.
solid rock to discover something mind-blowing. You can just order some inspiration
Yay,
right
we
to
got
your
Kiwi
doorstep.
again.
This
KiwiCo.
is a science project crate from our sponsor KiwiCo, who deliver little adventures in a
Oh.
box. Let's
We get the
explore.
actual one.
There's wooden components.
Hey, there's
and
that robot.
Bolts and wheels. And
I figured it out.
transmitters.
No manual. Throw
It's
that out the
the
window.
delivery bot
Hey,
kit
I
that
was
teaches
right.
the basics of radio control in a
Hindsight's
playful
20/20.
and intuitive way.
Hey, I gotta bring my.
This crate is part of the new
I don't have the
KiwiCo
long neck
Labs
one, but
Learning Club, a subscription
the
that
swamp
takes you
mode.
along on a learning journey for young scientists to be.
I stated it in the
hands-on
last
projects
video,
help
man,
develop
but
and strengthen
I
problem-solving
love this
skills
company.
on things like
Never done it
science,
personally
engineering,
myself, but
and
love what they
robots
do.
over time. There are also different programs available
them
on
babies
topics
smarter.
like world geography or
Well, make
art
it
and
fun.
design. All
That's the
with their
important
own
thing for me.
high-quality crates and
It is a
exclusive
base.
online content to unlock.
Or ukulele, I guess.
We're not going to pretend
Still not sure.
this time that we got it for our own kids. We just ordered it for fun. But we can attest that
I was
it
saying
makes
that
a
the last
great
video,
gift
man.
for
It's like, I wanna
niece,
keep it myself.
Nephew, godchild, or other little one in your life. We like KiwiCo because with their new learning
Yeah.
club program, they're fostering
Seems
a
to be in the
mindset
same
of
vein y'all
making
guys are
learning
doing.
something
I love
that's
it.
an ongoing exploration, just like we want to. If you want to try out the new KiwiCo clubs, click on the link in the info
it 50
box
still?
or use the code kurzgesagt to get 50% off your first month of a monthly
Beautiful.
subscription to KiwiCo.
Anything else? Hey. Oh. A little preview. I already saw it, but I love that little theatric thing going on. Oh, that was glorious, man. Everything about that. See, the animation, like, up and foremost was beautiful. Alright, so once again, another banger from Christia, man. Like, I shouldn't even have to say that anymore. Like, every single video I love to death, even though, like, I don't necessarily know what topic they're gonna talk about, but that's, like, the joy of it. I know I talk about it all the time, but, like, the mystery of the unknowingness, and this was, like, chock full of that, man. It's like, we have, like, a small fraction of what's down there, just because, what, we made, like, smoothies, essentially, out of them, like, which is really crazy in and of itself. Like, the whole part of, like, we can't actually look in there because it might contaminate what we're trying to see. It's like kind of a double-sided blade, if you will, but like that is phenomenal stuff, man. And like it's everything I love about science, and like it's essentially like underneath us, like, which is crazy. We technically don't have to travel anywhere for us to find anything like this. Like, it's really boggling my brain, man, because it's like I said, it reminded me of like ants, like the ant colony or something, how like they make their own tunnels and stuff like that, and then you never know what they're doing under there, like essentially, even though we kind of know now. But it's like, what I'm trying to say is that like we didn't know what ants were doing, and now we do, so hopefully we'll know what these critters are up to, like in the, hopefully the close future, but it might be the way long time distant future. But even though like it's still a possibility that we might know things, and like he was saying, like it could help us with like our diseases, our food, our like everything else, and like for it to like use the planet in itself, like we kind of, in a bad way, like we've done that already as human beings, but like what if it's like it's trying to help us in a way, you know? We just like decided to choose the wrong things to gather. But like, like I said, man, it boggles my brain the entire time I'm thinking about this type of stuff, because it's like, again, the unknowingness, man. It always goes back to that for like me in science, and like why I'm so passionate about it. Like no matter what topic it is, what they're talking about, like, and this, like I thought it was about the freaking hollow earth theory and stuff like that, but like knowing kurzgesagt, it had to be more grounded, obviously. But man, I love it. I love it so much. So thank you everybody so much for watching. Leave a like down below, subscribe, ring the bell, become a member, you get videos a day early, and check out the merch. So with that said, I am Master Zero. Y'all guys have been fantastic, and I'll see y'all in the next episode. Later, days.